All right, what's going on, guys? So crazy week in the markets. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the short squeeze kind of playbook that was in play back in February with GME. That same short squeeze scenario is back across about 4 or 5 stocks. So I'm going to talk to you about the dynamics of the trade I put on, not through GME or AMC, but through another stock, MAC, which is kind of related to this whole fiasco you're seeing this week on AMC. So that being said, if you're new to our YouTube channel, make sure to like, subscribe. Every time we upload a video, it'll send it right over to your inbox. So that being said, let's talk about this. Obviously, this week, short trading week. I really didn't do too much yesterday, but I don't know, I'm sure like a lot of you as well did a ton of texts about AMC. So obviously, one of the craziest things I've seen, but it's 2021. We're kind of leaving off for 2020 left, where it's just kind of pretty crazy to see things. So what's normal anymore? I don't know. Looking at AMC yesterday, some of the call volume, I think it was like $4.5 billion. So, or options volume on both sides. So pretty crazy. AMC took off incredibly well. I'll talk to you about a few things on this, and I'll show you the actual trade I placed, not because I wanted to trade AMC, but basically using a different stock as a proxy. In fact, I talked about this in the last video as well as, taking an idea and applying it to a different stock. So let's talk about AMC. So why didn't I trade this? Look, obviously I would have loved to have traded it. I was going to try to mess with it last Friday, but I was trying to borrow shares and I couldn't get a short borrow. So for those of you who don't know, when you try to borrow shares from a broker, basically you're buying shares to short sell them. And I have 3 different brokers, and I tried to get shares to borrow and nobody had any shares. So whenever I see that, like I'm trying to borrow shares, I know there's probably a short squeeze more to go. So I figured we'd get a move, and I was going to buy calls on Friday, but I didn't, and I put a different position on, which is what I'm going to talk to you about really in this video. So the reason I didn't trade this, and again, I'll just talk to you guys, and some people will listen, but this is pretty much a meme stock at this point. So the implied volatility on both sides is through the roof. Okay, this is honestly some of the most insane implied IV I've ever witnessed in 15 years of doing this. And GameStop was pretty close. This is even higher than earnings season. It's just crazy. So what I was going to do is come in and sell calls on this to take in premium, but just decided to kind of step away. So Friday when I looked at this, the implied volatility was through the roof, okay? Pretty much across the board. So even if I look at the options, let's look at the 36 strikes on this. I'll show you what I was looking at with this here last week. I saw these at 5 and these went to 38. Okay, normally when a stock rallies like the way it did, these should go, way more, right? Now you look at this and you're like, well, $500 or $3,800, that's pretty crazy. Look, I see this happen once a month on Amazon, once a month on Tesla, stuff like this happens. So it's a pretty regular occurrence in certain high beta names, okay? But even with this move, these options move, but not to the extent they should have because the implied volatility was just through the roof, okay? So when I noticed last week that this was happening again, okay, the playbook last time with Melvin Capital and the squeeze was basically short squeezing everything that Melvin and a lot of these hedge funds had in their portfolios, okay? So this is basically, let me just show you what it looks like. This was the last squeeze, okay? So Bed Bath & Beyond was part of the short squeeze last time. It went from basically 25 to 50 and failed, okay? So again, this time again, 25 to about 45, massive failure, okay? So all this is short squeeze. So it's the same playbook literally as last time. Through GameStop, through AMC, etc. And one of those stocks that, again, I don't think anybody followed because it's not a very sexy name, was MAC, right? So Macerich was one of those stocks as well. So Melvin Capital, a lot of these hedge funds were short this company. They manage and operate outdoor malls and shopping centers. So obviously, Corona killed foot traffic. The stock was being massively shorted, okay? So it was insane. And it had this massive rally, and basically it's just a drop back down to 10 after the short squeeze was done. Okay, so last week when I saw this, I go, you know what, this is going to happen again on AMC, but the AMC options are too expensive, so how can I come in and play this? So what I did is I came in and bought September 15 strike calls, about 30, so this is the volume, so this is 13 options. The price here is 230, that was my total cost on this, and I had about 13 of them from the position. Okay, so purchase price is 230 a contract. They were about 385 this morning. I sold pretty much most of them. I have a few left, not too much. So I ended up netting this morning about $2,000 on that position. Okay, so again, what I was trying to figure out is I know that's going to short squeeze and it's going to affect the rest of these equities. So this was kind of my proxy to it. Okay, so This is kind of something I think is interesting to talk about in the markets. For those of you that trade in markets, one of the things I like to talk about, I talked about in the prior video, is if X happens with one company, how does it affect another company? Okay, you can take this concept and apply it across the board. Whether, I'll give you an example, gold stocks. You don't have to trade the GLD ETF. There's additional ETFs you can actually go in and start trading when you get a move that will be affected by a large gold move as well. Okay, so again, when I look at the markets from that perspective, I can find value or plays that work. And again, the implied volatility on Macerich wasn't anywhere near what it was on AMC. Now, obviously, did the options go 600%? No. Did I make money? Yeah. Was it as much as some of the P&Ls I've seen on AMC? Again, no. But not complaining. So yeah, that was the trade I made on that. Hopefully that lends some insights to you guys as far as looking at different options, no pun intended, for ideas to trade. If you guys have questions, every Monday morning, as well as some other sessions, I lead the guided trade sessions at Stockability. So the guided trade sessions are pretty straightforward. You can kind of read through this. There is a free trial on this. I'd highly suggest coming into checking out the free trial. Now, again, what you'll notice is, look, we don't really do all-day trading, right? And I know a lot of companies do that, where every single day it's 9 hours a day. Look, I've done this for 15 years. There's no need to literally watch somebody's screen for 8 hours a day, right? It's a pointless activity. The first hour, doing some market analysis, trying to find ideas, that's important. Last hour of the day, trying to find some ideas, that's important as well. So I really like the Monday morning session. This is the one I lead. It allows me to come in, look at the market before it opens, say, hey, look, this is what I think the stock indices are going to do this week. These are some of the positions I might, put on. These are some of the positions I'm going to reduce. And you get to look and see what I'm doing in my portfolio and potential trades. So I think it's pretty beneficial for those of you that are new to this kind of model, like, not an 8-hour day trade room. I think you will like this. And then, again, the only way to know is if you come and take a trial. It's free to trial that. So that being said, that's a short video, short trading week for me. I don't think I'm going to do too much more. I do really want to come in and short this AMC through selling premium on it, but I might just sit back and wait. It's just too tempting not to, which I'm sure I will, but maybe it's next week and not this week. So that being said, hopefully this video helped. I'll see you guys in the next video and then next week as well. And hopefully we'll see you guys in the guided trade session trials. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys in the next video.